everyone, and welcome to this School of Light session today when I will be channeling Goddess Hathor. So of course Hathor is known in Egyptology. I've only channeled her 2 times very briefly, so I still don't know too much about her. Of course we have the historical accounts. So she has come forth, and she, as we know, she is also an aspect of Aphrodite. So there are many things that she looks after, but she has come forth to discuss on how we can connect more of who we truly are, our soul self, through love and play, and everything else, which I'm sure will be a surprise. So today I have my lovely facilitator friend over to the side, our School of Light member. She'll be asking some questions. Alright, and we'll have a little debrief on the other side, okay? So we'll see you then, and I'll bring forth now Goddess Hathor. Hello, my dear one.
Hello.
Hello everyone that is watching this. It is a great honor to come through in this way. I would say it is not often in this time continuum for my energy vibration to come through in human form through this way of channeling that you have termed it. But it is a time of great awakening, and as such many of us are coming through, especially through this channel for which it is aligned to our energies and for our shared purpose. And of course those of you here today maybe watching, you also share a similar purpose, otherwise you would not be here today. It is with love that I come through, as we all say. But my dear ones, know that you are part of the fabric of all that is. Yes, many of you know me as the great mother of the universe, but I am you, my dear ones, as we are all one. My dear ones, I come through as the great, we would say, the timelines of the golden ages are aligning in the present moment of your time continuum. You have termed it the new age. You have termed it the golden age, the new earth. It is now aligning to the frequency, to the multi-dimensional timelines of these great civilizations in the golden age. You are now entering into the golden age, my dear one. You are transitioning into this energy of this consciousness of oneness in your conscious awareness. Of course you are all one, my dear one, but you do not consciously aware of this at all times. There is a frequency shift. There is a, we would say, a shift with the very human DNA. My dear ones, all the timelines of the golden age, as the universe goes through great cycles, you have reached this cycle once again, and you have now entered into this new era of consciousness, of great expansion. And this is why many of us are coming through. Many of you called it a rising of Atlantis. It is also the rising of Egypt and all the great civilizations. We would say the teachings, especially from these times of Egypt and Atlantis, work unison together in the expansion of your current human consciousness state, the human collective, and the DNA activations that is now occurring, my dear ones. Of course, all of you watching this are aligned to the frequency of this, otherwise you would not be here, my dear ones. You resonate with these teachings of Egypt because, my dear ones, you have lived in Egypt. My dear ones, there are many timelines occurring at once, but the golden age is now upon you, and this is why many of you are remembering who you truly are in these timelines. You are remembering who you truly are and your purpose here, because these timelines of when you existed are now lining up to the current timeline. It is all aligning. You are transitioning. The timelines are blurring, because it's all aligned, my dear ones. And as such, because of this great astral alignment, because of the consciousness alignment of all these timelines that occurs throughout eons of history in your human history, great changes occur, my dear ones. Many of you have more questions. Many of you are discovering abilities that may be shocking to you, that are unannounced. Perhaps some of you have struggles with managing these. You want more answers, you want more clarity, but my dear ones, you are not activating new abilities. We say this for you to humanly kind of understand the process. But these activations are only new in your perspective. You've always had these abilities. You've had all the abilities that you had the pre-birth intentions to bring forth through your divine blueprint, to live in this current timeline of Gaia that aligns to the golden age and the great consciousness of the great awakening of man that is now occurring. And as such, these abilities are now being remembered within you. Many of you receive flashes of this. But my dear one, the process will continue. My dear ones, some of you experience this in a fast pace. Some of you want it in a faster pace than it is, or it is occurring in the pace that is divinely timed for your expansion and for your purpose. This is what occurs. It is about letting go of resistance to this, letting go of the resistance of your journey, whether you're going too fast or too slow in your terminology. For it is all perfect and it's all going the same pace, my dear ones. So yes, we invite you now to ask your question. What would you like to discuss today, my dear one?
What do you feel most passionately about?
My passion is the shared purpose with many of us, is to assist in expansion of the human collective consciousness. This is why I am coming through in this way, to assist you in this transition, to tap into who you truly are. Of course, there are so many nuances perhaps that we have explored through different timelines. Of course, the Hathor that you know in Egypt is a different Hathor you know today, for we're all changing and all our timelines, we merge and we adapt to what is needed in the current timeline, in the golden age. So yes, we draw on some nuances from our previous, we would say, our different timelines. But my dear one, we share this message that is common. It is through love, it is through joy, it is through expressions of love where you can tap in to who you truly are. And we know this has been talked about, and we know there are different perspectives, you would say, out there. But my dear ones, it is the frequency of love. This is our focus here. The oneness state that you are transitioning into is to embrace the frequencies of love. This is the focus. So yes, I like to bring forth, we would say, the energy and the frequency of joy and play. For with art, play, joy, creative endeavors, expressions of love, you can connect more deeply to, we would say, it's an easier path for you. There can be less resistance in this path than just looking at yourself and, we would say, just increasing self-love. What is that? What is to increase self-love? It is to see yourself as worthy, as perfect. But my dear one, some of you have difficulty in this. So explore other frequencies of love. Play. It is through joy. Play. Dance. Rejoice in the joy that you are. Express yourself in love. Creative endeavors, we would say. Dance. Laugh. Sing. Rejoice. Whatever you feel inspired to, tap into that, the beauty of all of life. All is love, all is frequency. What brings you joy? What we understand, you have a connection to dance. This is a pathway to express more of who you truly are, to tap more into the vibration of love. How do you feel when you release yourself, when you surrender yourself to the dance of love, to the vibration of giving yourself off to the music and being in that love state? What is it for you to explore this?
You feel a range of feelings, from connection to exhilaration. But I also use that as a way to detach from the ego as well, because as soon as you're thinking about yourself as you dance, a lot of things can go very interesting. And as long as you channel that which you're expressing and keeping your thoughts out of it, that's when magic happens. So it's a great exercise, I find, to connect to source energy and to... Yeah, this is where my next question lies as well. I find there are a lot of different origins of different dance, and some of it is ritualistic as well, and some of it has been used for healing, but they're more specific dances. So we have a free flow dance. But would you talk more about whether we have lost the art, whether there is, if there is an art to certain rituals, as some information points to Mary Magdalene having certain dance groups where they've connected with women circles and so on and so forth. What have you got to say about this? Thank you.
Of course, the divine feminine is strong, and that can assist in your process. Of course, in the male energies, of course, dancing can also express and tap into the divine feminine within them to create perfect balance in unison with all that is. But my dear ones, we do say the divine feminine is more, the dancing more strongly resonates with the divine feminine. Yes, Mary Magdalene and others knew of these abilities of what dance can bring. So my dear one, you ask of ways to connect to dance, but my dear one, it is not about specific movements. It is about letting go to the music, surrendering to the energy that flows within you. And yes, disconnecting from the ego about judgment is part of the process. But my dear ones, yes, the energy can be increased. We would say if your intention is to increase the divine feminine consciousness within you, then yes, to do it in a group of your sisters can enhance this consciousness energy. For you feed off each other's energy, and it increases and expands through you and everyone in the group, and expands throughout all that is. And it expands the divine feminine consciousness energy onto the world, mighty one. So yes, when you say of ritualistic dances, this was the nature. It was to expand the consciousness of that time. For of a group of people together, you are activating each other, and the energy is intensified. But there necessarily does not have to be any rules. Of course, throughout different timelines, there may be different methodologies, but the foundation of it is to, if it assists you, to have a sound that allows you to let go and connect, and to move with the sound with no rules, no regulations. For if there are rules of how to dance, that's when you go into the ego, into judgment. Go into the heart space, feel the beat, feel the music, however music you wish to play, we would say. Of course, times have changed. The modern day reality that you live in, there are all forms of music. But you also recognize different music that allows you to connect more to who you truly are. So when you find a music that resonates with you, that allows you to center yourself, then that is the right music for you, for your expansion. You can practice this in the group, practice it by yourself. Feel the music, but feel the energy of the music. Feel the music move through you. Feel it connect to your heart energy. Feel the passion radiate in the heart center and expand that energy outwards and allow that energy to move your body. Those movements can seem strange to you. Those movements will free you. Those movements will tap in to the love that is within. So yes, practice on yourself. Practice in a group. That may be a fun thing to do, my dear one, if you feel inspired to follow this avenue. But you can see you've tapped into the passion of dance. It is a key, a creative force of love, where if you are able to let go and tap into the energy of love, of excitement, of joy that dance brings, it helps to align you to your God state. Can't you see? The creativeness, you're tapping into your God-given abilities. In that moment, you are activating, you are using your God abilities, you are creating, or creation, creativity endeavors is you as a microcosm of source. You are creating. By dancing through creative expression, you flow through the universe, through all that is, such as you are as a being, as an energy of light that flows through all of that is. So is universal life force energy that flows through you and all that is. All is a dance. Dancing is a microcosm of all that is. It is a dance of life. You see it as a dance, but it is much more than a dance if you can see the microcosm of what it is. You are acting on all of your divine, we would say, divine source given abilities in that moment. If you are able to free yourself, you flow through source. You allow yourself to surrender to the universe, which is what you are doing on a day-to-day life. Through your, we would say, expansion enlightenment journey, it is about letting go of controlling situations, letting go as you release and allow the flow of the universe to show you your purpose one step at a time. And this is what dance does. It is a microcosm of that. You allowing yourself to flow and surrender to life force flow. You feel it within you. The sound connects you to who you truly are. It is the heart. Feel the passion. Feel the energy of the heart. Feel it radiate from your heart center. Feel the joy that the music brings. The creative expression of love and joy connects you to your source self. However that music allows you to express your physical body, then so be it. Feel the music. Feel the energy from your heart expanding outwards. And feel your body moving in unison, surrendering, my dear one, by moving to these sensations, to what you're inspired to. My dear one, this is a form of channeling. By moving and dancing to the music, whatever you feel inspired to, you're expressing your God-given self. You are channeling, you are following the inspiration to whatever is guided to release you, to connect you to your source self. Embrace the joy that it brings you, and the passion, the releasement, and the freedom, because that's who you truly are. In the act of dance, you're freeing yourself and connecting yourself to who you truly are. And what a gift it is that you have found this passion, that you've reclaimed this passion in your life. And what else would you like to discuss today?
Now, this is a completely different topic. However, as I was listening to you and you mentioned your connection to Gaia, I'm wondering, in this state, in this frequency that you brought forth through Kimberley, as I can understand and visualize and feel the divine feminine energy that you carry forth, but are you ultimately merging with also the divine masculine? And if we look at the Gaia as well, yes, I know we are raising the vibrations and expanding, but would the ultimate be merging who is and what is Gaia's divine masculine? We're talking about the sun plasma energy. Are we talking about something else? Are we talking about basically at the moment, as you are Hathor, Goddess Hathor, do you have your twin flame? Do you have your divine masculine energy? Do you have your, or are you simply in love and light world? Are you standing as divine feminine?
None of that is in consequence to my presence in this time continuum. Yes, there were many versions of me in different timelines where I resonated with another half, but that is also based on duality. But my dear one, the new age, the golden age that is upon you on earth, it is the raising of the divine feminine, so it balances and comes unison with the divine masculine. Because in your the human consciousness state, we would say the vibration of masculine is, we would say, has been a prominent vibration for eons. So to balance and to become one with all that is, it is to increase the divine feminine, and that's what the process is. So as the merging and the, would say, the increasing of the divine feminine energy, it balances with the masculine, it merges into oneness. Our purpose to come through here is from a state of oneness, mighty ones. So yes, everything you can conceive as a consciousness state may have more divine feminine or divine masculine qualities, but the details of that are irrelevant. It is the consciousness, and as you raise the consciousness, it affects the consciousness of all that is. Can't you see? It is, we are here to resist the human collective, for the human collective helps to, we would say, expand all that is. Gaia, all that is part of this process. As Gaia expands, so do you. As you expand, so does Gaia.
So are you here as one?
Yes, I am here in a oneness state, we would say. I am coming forth as, we would say, Goddess Hathor, with a frequency of Hathor, but my intention, we would say, this version of me coming through is one of oneness, to teach oneness. But to teach oneness, we would say, practice on, we can say, the divine feminine qualities, to raise your natural abilities within you. You may call these psychic abilities, they are your divine gifts. These link to the divine feminine. Living from the heart center links to the divine feminine. Instead of living here in the mind and the ego, which is divine masculine, it is the merge into the oneness of the heart, of the all-knowing. So yes, we work with both because it is a balance of both, and because the divine masculine is prominent in the human collective consciousness, it is about balancing that, not disregarding it. It's about connecting the two. And of course, many of males that may be watching this, you, we would say, have the divine feminine within you. You as a female have the divine masculine with you. It is a merge. And as you merge in consciousness states, the very human DNA will merge also. Meantime, you see a female, you see a male. That's because it's duality, and that mimics and it mirrors the consciousness state. But in time, this will also merge, and is already occurring. Many of you are coming through that do not identify as female or male. It is already occurring, the shift. It's a microcosm of all that is. The details do not concern. The details are to connect the frequency that you're inspired to. Of course, my dear one, the divine feminine is something that we would say can be increased to allow you to connect more to who you truly are. To the males watching this, Connecting to the divine feminine also allows you to expand and connect more to the heart center. It is a consciousness state based in duality that is now becoming into oneness, and our purpose to coming through with all of us is to come through and to assist in this transition, the merging of divine masculine and feminine together into a oneness state. This is our intention, Mighty One.
So you're God Hathor.
We are all God, Mighty One. We come through in this way, you would say. We are one, but we have also certain unique frequencies. Of course, we are multidimensional beings. So the Hathor coming through here, we would say, is at a very high frequency that knows of her oneness state, but also has a unique frequency, individual enough, that comes forth and can come through these unique frequencies, we would say, these unique teachings. So of course, you are all multidimensional. You are living many timelines at once. We all are. We all are expanding. For that is the rules of the universe. Just because you are human, just because we are in my current state not human, does not mean I do not go through the rules. Yes, we would say our frequencies are different, and there are certain things that are different to the physical nature on earth. For instance, we do not experience fear because we're in the non-physical. Fear is only experienced in the physical form.
And how do you expand?
We expand through you.
Through us.
We expand through all that is. You are all linked, can't you see? By coming forth to assisting you, the beings that are on earth right now are highly advanced. You are expanding greatly. As you expand, you not only expand your brothers and sisters, you expand the universe. You expand beyond the universe. You expand all that is. You expand the non-physical, because that are the rules. Expansion will continue. This is why many of us, we come forth, we want to experience human form, because we want to play a different role in the expansion. We may choose to come forth and expand in human form because we think it's fun, and we believe coming forth in human form, we can participate more directly, we would say, and we get to experience more challenges of exploring density, exploring fear, because we don't have this in non-physical. But many of us are also coming through in this way, through channels like Kimberley.
A question, you as a goddess, having experienced life in a physical form, have all of them been significant and history changing and quite influential, or have you had the lives that were quiet, that were exploring certain aspects that were not so history changing, so to speak?
Well, we would say my pre-birth intentions coming forth for every timeline has been one of expansion, has been one of, we would say in your terminology, a light worker, has been to bring forth these teachings, because of we would say my origins are not of human background. Because of my origins in the galactic nature, it was always been my purpose on the earth plane to come forth to assist in the ascension of humanity. Yes, it may not be as grand as some places. Prior to this session, I showed Kimberley some of my versions of myself. I showed Kimberley the version of me which Kimberley was quite struck by, because I presented myself as in your historic accounts like a cave woman with ratty hair, and the features were of that of a Nathandrel, we would say. But even at that stage, at the beginning stages of man, I was able to tap into, we would say, my God-given abilities. For I've always come forth in the intergalactic origin, so I had, we would say, certain abilities. But all of us that ever come through in human form, if we choose to come through in human form on earth, then it means we must all go through fear, because that is the human way.
Did you remember in each lifetime? Did you end up remembering?
Of course not. As the human journey, once you reside here, you forget who you truly are. But yes, let's just say because of our pre-birth intentions, we remembered maybe more quickly than others because our pre-birth intentions, our intentions of purpose being on the human plane is to expand others. So for us to expand others, we needed to remember our power and who we truly are first, so we could truly inspire and expand others. But my dear ones, in that time, in my first beginnings on earth, in that time when you see mammals walking the earth, and you would say, you refer to this as a dark ages in a way, uncivilized. But my dear one, we're aware of intergalactic brothers and sisters, and I drew on these abilities. But all these different timelines does not tie into the story of the now on how we are assisting you, we would say. Yes, all of us, for you to know how powerful you are. We have all gone through this journey. If we have walked the earth, we have gone through fear. It may have gone through more easily, but we have always gone through fear. We've always forgotten who we truly are. This is the process of the human. But my dear one, it's shifted. Never a time in your timelines has there been a moment now where this is merging, where it is merging into a oneness state. There'll be a time when you will not experience the fear that you experience fear. It is because there's been never a time in history, this great awakening of man, where you are now merging into a conscious awareness state. The very human DNA is shifting, and because of that, you are activating, would say, more of your galactic DNAs within you. So the very human being will be shifting and has already started the shift. My dear one, so the process of coming forth to explore Earth during the times when that oneness completion has occurred in the conscious awareness, we would say you may not need to forget who you are and to experience fear. There may be new challenges, you see. But for this stage of human evolution, you are still in this, we would say, a fear consciousness state. But like I said, you are moving into the golden age. And golden age has never been experienced before. It is the merging into the oneness state. Only the most advanced are coming through here. And this is why many of us are coming through, because we are excited. Because with your expansion, you expand us, you expand all that is. This is how Source expands. Source is perfect. For Source to expand, it projects itself in physical forms, to forget who they are, to see themselves, to explore all aspects of all that is. And in doing so, in the remembering of who you are, the expansion, the ripples out across all of that is, all of the universe, all beyond your human conception, my dear ones. So it is our pleasure and our honor to come through. For as we assist in your expansion, you exist all that is. And many of us are coming through because we cannot contain our excitement. Of course, we would say there has not been many of us coming throughout your timeline. So whenever there is, we'd say, a transition into a golden earth, this is when we come forth, because the timelines are all merging from the golden age, and all your rememberings are coming forth, and we are just so excited because this is a prominent time in all that is for great expansion. And how exciting it is that you are here to explore this too in this time. Just knowing that you are here, that you are living on Gaia in this time continuum, is validation for you of how powerful you are. Not everyone was able to come here in this time continuum. Only the most advanced came here. Even though you may see people and situations not as advanced, they are just as advanced as you, but they are playing certain roles to assist in the expansion of all that is. It is an illusion. You are all advanced. Every one of you that are here living on Gaia in this time continuum are highly advanced. And you have lived lives in these great golden ages, and you have been teachers, because this is why you are here once again, as all the golden ages line up and experience in the timelines those beings who were teachers, who were healers, light workers in some form are coming forth again, coming forth, reincarnating our terminology. Leaders once again to assist in the light and expansion. Of course, to assist in, and again, the expansion of all that is, because you assist others by showing that light, but it's not because they are lesser than, they need healing. No, they do not. But it is a game, and by you sharing their light and expressing the light in whatever way that is inspired for you, that you have your pre-birth intentions are aligned to, then they will awaken. You are activating each other. It's a process of activation. You are then activating your brothers, sisters. It could be triggering, could be activating, however you want to look at it. And by then the expansion occurs and the consciousness shifts even more. You're playing different roles. Some of you chose to live in earth in this time continuum as the leader, as knowing that you are a leader. Some people chose to feel like they were bad, that they do bad to society, but they chose the role of the triggerer to expand the light worker, but they are also highly advanced. They would say you can see them as contrasting positions, contrasting roles, but that is duality and that is the game. For there needs to be contrast, for there to be triggering and activation of who you truly are. So you can find solace knowing that everyone in your life, everyone that you see in this present timeline is highly advanced. They are just playing a role. Some of them overtly have a purpose in the transition into the new earth, to fully embrace their light worker, God-given abilities on earth overtly. But some people chose not to explore this overtly, even though they're highly advanced. They chose to play another role, but they are all working in unison to assist in the great expansion of man. Was there anything else you'd like to talk to? Anything else you'd like to express, my dear one?
No, that's fine. Thank you. This is good. Thank you.
Know that we are always with you, for we are you, my dear one. And as you move closely to your source self, you remember more of your purpose. It is not by accident that you are here, for you have a calling to who you truly are. You already have a remembering. This remembering led you here. So trust the remembering. Trust the guidance. It's one step at a time. Each step of remembering, each step of frequency of love that you can embrace, you connect more to who you truly are, and the remembering process becomes more intense and you remember more of who you truly are. It is about letting go of resistance to the process and know that you chose to explore, you chose to remember. You can let go of that resistance because you chose it. You will remember. It may not be the full picture. It may be just glimpses, but that is up to you. That is up to you whether you choose resistance or choose to let go. That is completely up to you. But you already have glimpses. You already have some information about who you truly are. So embrace it. Know that you are worthy of it. And know the full picture will be shown to you when you are vibrationally ready. And to be vibrationally ready and to get in that alignment, to attract that information to you, to attract that remembering to you. It is to be in that frequency of love, joy, happiness, bliss. you're already doing that. So if this is what your heart calls to, these creative endeavors of dance, then experiment with this. You've already found an effective tool to assist in your expansion, to assist in your self-love, to assist in you letting go of the ego and moving into the heart center of the all-knowing. The passion is already there. The tool is already there. So continue. Experiment. In the space of inspiration and guidance, follow that inspiration and guidance. Step through the fear. Step in a state of vulnerability and let go and express who you truly are. My dear one.
Thank you.
I love you, my dear one. We're always with you. Thank you, all that may be watching. Know that I love you, for we are you. You are here on an expansive journey. You are here to remember your light, to remember your power, to remember that you are source. My dear ones, I love you. Farewell. Farewell. So how did you find that today?
That was really good, yeah.
Was there anything that stood out to you at all? Personally?
Well, allowing yourself to have at least one area where you explore your passion artistically. Having at least one outlet where you don't overthink can have ripple effects on the rest of your life. And actually I was making links as well by the end of this channeling that probably when I started dancing and when I continued, I never overthought it. And it is the only area that has yielded the most magnificent results that I never thought I would have in terms of opportunities to dance, to grow, to overcome certain limiting beliefs. And yet there are areas that I overthink, that I work hard on, that are just not flowing as well. Partly because I'm overthinking them and working so hard on, and yet dance I don't think twice about, and I have this amazing opportunities to explore it, perform it, learn more, and I've never looked for those opportunities actively. I've never asked for those opportunities. They've always have come to me. And yet there are some areas that I really want something to come, and I really would like something to come, and I work on it to come, and yet I'm still waiting. So yes, that was a great reminder to allow the other types of love frequency to take over, and I have at least one outlet. Yeah.
Good. Yes, I know. I mean, for me as well, you know, I'm a dancer. I mean, I haven't danced much lately, but I've always been passionate about dance, and, you know, I can definitely feel that. And when I, you know, experienced a trauma, it was through dance. Well, in my at the time I perceived it as trauma, and at the time before I knew all these teachings, I saw myself as a victim, and I had that victim mentality, and I was completely powerless. So when I engaged in dance, I found myself. I found my power. I was able to connect more to who I was. So yeah, dance is a very powerful tool, but of course there are many different outlets as well. All right, well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for facilitating, and thank you all for watching. Love and light to you all. Until next time. See you later.